Now, I did notice a paradox that I believe is available in that room by putting the chest inside the open door, and I think I can execute it right now. And so rather than forget about it and try to come back to it later, let's try to do that now together. So, basically, for those of you who don't remember, there are a number of ways that you can get into paradoxes, basically places where you kind of like break the universe. And when you do that, it causes it to open up another puzzle. One of the ways that you can cause a paradox is by placing an enchanted chest inside a locked doorway when it was open in one instance of the room, and then exiting so that you try to come out of the chest inside the locked doorway. The game doesn't like that. It creates a paradox and brings you to a new paradox level. So that is what we're going to try to attempt to do now, and it has all the same first initial steps as solving the puzzle. So let's do all the same first initial steps to solving the puzzle, which involve jumping down there a bunch, and then grabbing 2 jars, and the purpose of the jars is simply that they enable us to stand at a higher location in the room. And so we're saving 2 jars, so we have 2 higher standing locations available to us. Now we use one of the higher standing locations available to throw this object, and we use another higher standing location available that was close. I almost jumped into the fire, to throw this object, and then we will hop out of the enchanted chest with the key, like so, unlock the door, and now place the chest inside of the locked door. Yeah, and now I think if I simply exit the room, I will create a paradox. Yes. Great. I know all of the steps to get to this paradox level. Let's hope we don't screw it up. So, once I've jumped through there, I cannot go back downward, but if I drop an object in this location, it will fall down and become irretrievable. So don't drop any objects right here. The little red thing is a blower. It behaves like this. It blows objects and me upwards. And it seems like I need to pick up that blower, but how could I do anything like that? How? Alright, I'm currently at a loss of what to do. I can do this safely, because I could always ride the blower back up like this to get back upwards. So let's experiment with the blower. If I do this, the blower does blow the key up like that. Okay, so this gives me an idea of how we're going to solve the puzzle. Maybe. The blower could even blow an object that's over here, so I said it was irretrievable, but that's kind of a lie. Alright, so what do I do? I still don't see what I need to do. Because I can never jump up here unless the blower is at a different location. There's 2 keys. I could unlock this from either side. Alright, I've been looking at the trees. I need to stand back and look at the forest of this paradox puzzle. I can never jump up here. So I need to be blown up here. I need to be blown up here probably while I'm holding a key. Aside, there's an unusual 5th possibility that, like, these enchanted keys, I need to bring one of the enchanted keys back out to the main puzzle, and then bring the key from the main puzzle, like, into this room or something ridiculous. I don't think that that's actually possible. You can bring an object. I could have brought the rock. I could have brought the rock. That's what I need to do. I'm nearly certain of it. And I even thought about doing that, but I forgot about the fact that you can bring objects into a paradox. Okay. And I still remember how to do everything, so that's good. Short-term memory is always challenging in this game. So, we get 2 jars. One of the jars is used to bring the enchanted chest into its own room. The other jar is used to bring the key into this whole mess. We're going to jump with the key deeper into the chest, so we'll be able to jump out of the chest, which I'm not even sure that I need to do very much inside this puzzle in order to get the paradox, but that's what we're doing. Then we're going to get 2 more jars. This time the jars are used for lifting action. That one we'll be able to use to lift the block up to a higher platform. This one will lift the chest up to a higher platform. The block is going to go over there, very gently, without stepping through the fire. The chest is going to go over there. And where did my key go? Didn't I have a key at this level? Where did my key go? Screwed something up there. I lost track of where I screwed that up. Is the key on a previous level? I don't know that I can solve the puzzle at this point. I don't know what happened to the key. Alright, I will make a shortcut and meet you guys back over there. I see, I bound up a fissure with the key's state, I think. So I need to pop out of the chest later to go grab the key. That sounds right. So let's go 1 level deeper. Now the key is on a previous stack frame. And so now here, yeah, is the key. But I need another jar. But that's fine. The key is on a previous stack frame. There's the key. And so now I can go into the jar, and I'll pop back out of the jar, and the key will still be here. Yeah, this will all be good. Okay. So that moves out. There's the key again. Gently. Don't accidentally step into the fire. That goes out. Here's the key again, and now I pop out of the key with the chest. Okay. So, open the door. I want the block over here. I don't want the... It's hard to select which object you want to pick up. Okay. Chest is inside the locked door, and now I want to exit holding the block. This is the mistake I made last time. So now I will carry the block into the paradox. There we go. Now I don't think I can jump up with the block, but that's fine, because I can use the blower to hopefully get the block out of here somehow. I imagine, maybe, possibly. Actually, I can just throw the block. I don't think there's any way for me to throw the block and get it. So I'm still not sure exactly how I'm going to do this, actually. But let's imagine there's going to be a way to do it. Alright. I have an extra object. Surely, somehow, it's going to help. So if I do that, the block's just going to fall back down in there. I feel pretty certain that this is going to be part of the solution to the puzzle, but I don't see where to go from here. Is there a way to, like, re-exit this paradox? Like, why are these keys enchanted again? That worries me that there's still another aspect that I'm missing. And I spent a lot of time bringing this in here. I don't think it's possible for me to bring... Yeah, it's not possible for me to bring the enchanted chest into this room, because the enchanted chest has to be stuck in the doorway when I exit the room, so I couldn't be carrying the enchanted chest. There's no way for me to get over here and use the block. Alright, if I could get the block up somewhere where I could carry it, then obviously I could at least jump up here. I wouldn't be able to carry a key up there, but I could use a blower probably to get the key up there. So the block is for the purposes of me being able to jump up to the doorway, I think. Let's see. Is there anywhere useful to throw objects? You can also use the block like hanging half off the ledge and then like throw objects upwards to be on the block, but I don't know how to get the block out. So I guess let's focus on that for a moment. Is there a way to get the block out that I'm not thinking of? I can never jump down there. We can lift up the block temporarily, but I cannot move swiftly enough to get up there and interact with the block. I can never move downward through this ledge. It's a one-way people ledge. Alright, so yeah, forest and trees. I realized I could carry the block into here, then made a quick leap and said, okay, let's bring the block into here, and that's going to solve everything. Was there anything else I'm not thinking about? Don't think so. But I really don't see what the other options or other possibilities are in this place. I haven't interacted with the keys. Okay, so I can move keys around. Does that do anything interesting for me? I don't think it does. Since I have multiple keys and I only necessarily need to use one, I'm curious. If I drop this one on top of the block and have the blower blow both of those objects up, is that meaningful at all? I don't think so. They're up there. Great. They're just going to fall back down. So I don't think that that helps me at all. These keys are enchanted, which seems very suspicious to me. But I don't have any idea how to leverage that suspicion into a usable mechanic. And we're getting close to the length of an episode. Let me go off camera for just a minute and see if I can come up with any other insights for something to do in this puzzle. But I can still talk through it. Back in the previous puzzle that got us here, we had to spend the key to open the door to get in the paradox. We had to put the enchanted chest in the doorway to get in the paradox, which means the only object available to us to carry in here was the block. No, I could have carried a jar. I could have carried a jar. I could have carried a jar. It's non-trivial to carry a jar, but if I carry a jar, that gives me access to the enchanted chest, which gives me access to moving bits around, and that's why these keys are enchanted, so I can move them back to the other room from the other puzzle. That's gotta be the only solution. Okay, this may turn into a long episode, or I may break it up into multiple episodes, but I see the essence. And I need to do it now. In Brian time, while I still have all of this in my head. Okay, so, same initial setup. 2 jars. 1 jar is to bring the key into the whole mess. The other jar is to bring the chest into its own room. Chest is now in its own room. Key is now embedded in the mess. Great. Key travels with me down a few stack frames. Now eventually I'm going to need an extra jar. Can I get a jar after spending the key? The trouble with getting an extra jar after spending the key is that in order to spend the key, I need the box in the upper right, or middle right, to have lifted the key that high. And I think I need the chest up there as well. And then it's hard to get another jar. So can I open the door? Go down a level and get a jar. And come back up. Because I need to carry the key out to get it up there, and then I need to carry the jar out to get it up there as well from that same stack frame. Okay, let's try moving forward to get to the point to where the... but the chest has... Let's move forward a bit to where we've unlocked the door. Because I think that's going to be kind of unchanged in this solution. So we're going to bring the rock up there. We're going to bring the chest up there. I'm deeply nested inside the chest right now. So we're going to hop out with the key. We will be up here. Now here comes the tricky bit. I need to get a jar. And I need to have a jar in my hand when I step out the red fire after placing the chest in the unlocked door. Which means I need a jar on this platform before I place the chest up there. But I think getting the jar involves using too many objects that I'm carrying in my hand. So I have to spend the key now, but not put the chest up there yet, because I'm going to need to exit the chest. So, the door is unlocked. Now, how do I get a jar? If I bring the block forward, can I retrieve the chest? No, I have to throw the chest off the ledge, I think, and then bring the block down. So, okay. The door is open in this stack frame. So, I need to make sure... Oh man, I need to make sure I can come back to this stack frame. I think I did it wrong. I think I needed to bring the key forward again. And I can always hop back out. So if I hop in... Yeah, this is fine. I can hop in. This is fine. I eventually need to pop out. So if I pop out, I get to where there's an open doorway. So I'm going to hop in. It would actually be good to hop in another time. So now I can pop out of the chest twice. And after I pop out of the chest twice, I will get an open door. Okay, so I have some breathing room. Great. My goal now is to get a jar. If I pop out of the chest twice, I'm going to be up at the doorway. I'm going to need the rock up top and the chest up top. But I need a jar. So let's go get a jar. I have a jar. Great. That jar is going to be treated like the key right now. It's basically an object that I just want to lift up. Now, let's lift up the two enchanted objects. The way to lift up enchanted objects is with the jar. This jar is for lifting the rock. This jar is for lifting the chest. Let's lift the rock. Let's lift the chest. I have done my lifting. Now let's pop out of the chest while carrying a jar. I now have the jar on the sledge, but I am not yet in the open stack frame. Or sorry, open door stack frame. So let's hop out another stack frame because I gave myself some buffer. There's the open door. Perfect. Now if I exit the room, I cause a paradox. Let's exit the room holding the jar, but furthermore, I want the rock to be accessible on the floor of the room. Don't jump into the jar, that would have been awful. Okay. I can't jump up here. So I have to think very carefully about this. If I jump into this jar, I would be able to pull a box out of it. No. Is there even a box in it? I will end up in this paradox, maybe, because the enchanted chest is still there. So if I jump into this jar... Oh, boy, my brain is going nutso now. Okay, so right now it seems to me the two options that I have are leave the jar down here and jump out, or try to jump into the jar in this little confined space. Leaving the jar down here and jumping out seems very similar to me to leaving the rock down there and jumping out that I did previously, which is I can never access the item again. So I think what I want to do, if I want to have any hope, is to do a tiny hop and hop into this jar and just see what happens. I can't do a tiny jump. Well, poop. Really? Son of a gun. And the jar is just gonna fall back down. Okay. Well, it appears that the paradox here is quite the stumper. I am sure that I have to use the previous puzzle's room in this room in order to solve this room, but I don't yet know how to bring the previous puzzle's room into this room usefully. I brought it unusefully into this room in the form of a jar that's down below me that I can't seem to access. It's not like I can just like drop the key into the jar or something. I have to be carrying an object and then jump into the jar. And I don't see a way to get out of here. Looks like you could paradox out of this level as well, by the way. Yeah, there's definitely a double paradox available here. Right, which brings us to the cloud layer. I forgot about that from the previous original Recursed. There will be another paradox a level deeper inside this one, because assuming we can get the chest into this room, which I am sure is going to be necessary to solve this puzzle, we can then embed the chest in one of these doorways, go back into the original puzzle, re-paradox, and appear here. I'm not sure that we can do that, but I think it might be possible. And if you paradox from a paradox level, you end up in a cloud level, which introduces sticky clouds, and that might be the only thing that it introduces. I can't remember right now. But I've been at this for close to an hour, and I feel like I've made enough progress with this and become sufficiently at ease with the previous level that I could get here again if I need to. So I'm going to call it a day here. I hope, as always, that you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you again soon with Recursed, where we'll be lucky if we solve one puzzle a day. For now, bye-bye.